Matthew 4:23 to 25 presents a sweeping summary of the early ministry of Jesus. Open quote. And Jesus went about all Galilee, teaching in their synagogues and preaching the gospel of the kingdom, and healing all manner of sickness and all manner of disease among the people. And his fame went throughout all Syria, and they brought unto him all sick people that were taken with divers diseases and torments, and those which were possessed with devils, and those which were lunatic, and those that had the palsy, and he healed them. And there followed him great multitudes of people from Galilee, and from Decapolis, and from Jerusalem, and from Judea, and from beyond Jordan. Close quote. This passage gathers into a single portrait the breadth and power of Christ within the land of Israel. The focus is geographic, covenantal, and historical. Jesus goes about all Galilee. He teaches in their synagogues. He preaches the gospel of the kingdom. Everything is unfolding within the structures of first-century Jewish life. The synagogue setting is significant. These were the centers of Torah instruction and covenant identity scattered throughout the land. By entering these synagogues, Jesus steps directly into Israel's interpretive world. He does not stand outside the covenant order. He confronts it from within. His teaching is not detached philosophy, but proclamation rooted in Moses and the prophets. The kingdom he announces is the long-promised reign of God foretold in Scripture, now declared to be at hand. The text says he preached the gospel of the kingdom. This was good news, but specifically good news concerning God's reign, breaking into history in fulfillment of covenant promises. For generations, Israel had awaited restoration, the defeat of oppressors, the cleansing of the people, the return of divine glory. The announcement that the kingdom had drawn near meant that the long-anticipated turning point in Israel's story was arriving within that generation. Accompanying his teaching is healing, all manner of sickness and all manner of disease. The comprehensive language underscores not merely compassion, but authority. Disease, affliction, demonic oppression, paralysis, each represents disorder within the covenant community. These maladies echo the curses described in the law, conditions associated with exile and covenant unfaithfulness. The restoration of health signals more than physical relief. It points to the inbreaking of covenant renewal. The casting out of demons further intensifies the picture. Israel's scriptures speak of the land defiled by unclean spirits and false worship. The presence of demonic torment within the people reflects deep spiritual bondage. By expelling these spirits, Jesus demonstrates that a decisive confrontation is underway. The stronghold of darkness within Israel's midst is being challenged as the kingdom advances. His fame spreads beyond Galilee into Syria and the surrounding regions. People come from Galilee, Decapolis, Jerusalem, Judea, and beyond Jordan. The geographic sweep anticipates something larger than a local revival. It reflects a gathering movement within the historic boundaries of Israel and its neighboring territories. The land long divided by tribal inheritance and later fractured by political tensions now witnesses a unifying center in the person of Christ. The mention of Jerusalem is especially weighty. That city, the heart of temple worship and covenant authority, stands in the background of this narrative. As multitudes stream to Jesus from Jerusalem and Judea, a contrast quietly forms: the recognized center of religious power and the emerging locus of divine authority in Galilee. The movement begins in the north, yet its implications will reach the city where prophets were slain and where covenant accountability would soon come to its climax. The crowds follow him in great numbers, yet the text offers no commentary on their understanding. It simply records the momentum. The kingdom proclamation, accompanied by visible signs of restoration and authority, generates a widespread response throughout the land. Matthew presents this summary before the Sermon on the Mount, as though to establish the authority of the one who will speak. The teacher is not merely a rabbi among rabbis. He is the herald and embodiment of the kingdom, demonstrating in word and deed that the decisive hour in Israel's history has arrived. Thus, Matthew 4:23 to 25 stands as a panoramic introduction to the Messiah's work within that first-century world. Teaching in Israel's synagogues, proclaiming the nearness of God's reign, reversing the visible signs of covenant curse, confronting spiritual bondage and drawing multitudes from every quarter of the land as redemptive history moves toward its appointed consummation.